If you can't tell, I quite like Harry Potter. Now, I am quite a big fan of Harry Potter, but on the other hand, Fantastic Beasts is possibly the most disappointing film of the year so far, and I'm being deathly, hallows serious. Come on. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them is the latest Harry Potter spin-off written by J.K. Rowling and directed by David Yates. David Yates directed the last 5 Harry Potter films as far as I'm aware, and this one is the first in a series of 5 more Harry Potter films. Well, Fantastic Beasts films. They're not Harry Potter films, we promise. And now we're going to get another 5 Fantastic Beasts films, or another 4 to make 5 altogether, all directed by David Yates and hopefully probably written by J.K. Rowling. Now this follows Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, and he basically is a wizard from England who's come to America to basically do a little job with some beasts. I won't talk about what he does because that's kind of spoiler territory, but the whole concept of the film is some beasts get let out of this box he has which looks after all the beasts. They open, all the beasts fly out, and then he has to try and track them all down. But the reasons why he's there and stuff I won't go on about. He then gets entangled with like the wizarding world there and how he probably shouldn't be there and how he's an unauthorised wizard and how the beasts are being let out and he's causing an issue with the city and all sorts of things. We've got a new setting, new time, new characters. It's very, very different, but it's all very much still in the same world. We get references to Dumbledore, we get references to the Strange family. There's loads of references to the Harry Potter films, but it does its best to try and keep itself separate from it while still retaining the magic and the fun that Harry Potter had. But the cast as a whole is pretty damn good. Eddie Redmayne does a fantastic job of entertaining you and keeping you interested and keeping you a likeable character to attach to, even though we haven't seen him like we saw Harry Potter for 7 films. We don't grow with Harry Potter, we don't grow with Newt Scamander. We already have to form an attachment with him quickly because we started with him when he's already all grown up and he's already there in front of us. He is a fully grown wizard. It's a very different style of story to what Harry Potter was. Harry Potter was about youth and growing up and trying to be a wizard. This is already about being a wizard. He is a professional, trained wizard. I don't know what that means, but that's pretty much what he is. And I think that's a different outlook, something that I appreciated in the film. The fact that we know Eddie Redmayne's character is already someone who's experienced, it's like we're experienced. It treats the audience as if we know what's happening. It doesn't have to explain what a muggle is. It doesn't have to do all this. But yet it does new things, enough new things to keep you interested. Catherine Waterston plays his sidekick, who she's kind of against him, but she's with him. It's kind of like a random little storyline going on. Dan Fogler plays his real sidekick, I would say, and he is a nomad that Eddie Redmayne has to kind of look after and treat through all this. And these characters work. They work together. We like them, we grow with them, but they're not that exciting. But I just don't get that attachment to her two. None of them are likeable. In fact, Catherine Waterston just kind of irritated me. Catherine Waterston also has a sister. She is probably the worst character in the film by far. Her story just seems cheesy, undeveloped, and just unnecessary in the grand scheme of things. Her story was supposed to give me heart and make me feel for the character. It just made me irritated and annoyed by her. Technically, this film is beautiful. It's fantastic use of CGI, it's fantastic use of set design, it's fantastic use of just world building in general is the best the series has had to date. Harry Potter did a fantastic job of building a world. Diagon Alley was just fantastic, and this film just feels like a massive Diagon Alley. I love the world of Harry Potter. It's the best thing about Harry Potter, I think, and this does a fantastic job of keeping that going. But it's impossible to keep a film that's solely just on world building, because that is the best part of the film by far. I loved 1920s magic America. It was just, everything just felt right. I wasn't keen on the idea of it, but it really did draw me in, and it did not waste any opportunity on the American Parliament. But where it did waste all its opportunities are in the incredibly bland, predictable, boring, dragging story that it kept on throwing at me. Jesus Christ, I went to the cinema to go and see this with someone, and in the first scene, I told them exactly what was going to happen at the end. Did not seen any spoilers, seen nothing, and I knew exactly what was going to happen at the end, and I was waiting for it, and waiting for it, and waiting for it, and I was right. And it just dragged. My God. I can't get across how much it dragged. Them last 20 minutes felt like an hour. Everything just feels forced and dragging out. Some scenes were just so long and just dull, and I just lost interest. And what started off as an amazing film where I was so interested in the world and what it was doing just ended up being something I just wanted to end. I wanted to leave. Every scene, it felt like it was going to end, and then no, we've got another 10 minutes. No, we've got another 10 minutes. And the thing was, I wasn't excited to see the next thing. Originally at the end of the film I was like, I can't wait to see what they show next. I can't wait to see what the next world is. But then I started realising, wait, that's all I'm bothered about. So all the character interactions and all this other character development, I'm not really bothered about. I don't care about any of the characters. Eddie Redmayne character just kind of got a bit boring for me. The whole story just lost all its impact because there is no impact in this film. There is no stakes. You know there's another 5 films. You know Eddie Redmayne's going to survive all these 5 films. You know certain things are going to happen and it's going to be the same formula Harry Potter had. I've seen it all before. I know it's all coming. And I am not at all interested in what it's trying to tell me. It's exposition heavy. Its storyline is predictable. It follows a similar structure to most of the Harry Potter films, especially Half-Blood Prince and Deathly Hallows Part 1, the 2 worst Harry Potter films. And yes, this world has so much more to offer, but its characters and story are just not interesting to me at all. I came out of this thinking, you know, if someone had given me instructions to find them beasts, I would have found them quicker than Eddie Redmayne did. It dragged and dragged and dragged, and I just didn't want to sit there anymore. It felt like it was on for 3.5 hours, and it was a 2 hour and 10 minute film. It didn't need to be that long. It would have told its story just as well. We could have got rid of some of the unnecessary parts, and we could have focused on some of the characters that weren't as well done. Colin Farrell was so good in his role. Colin Farrell kind of plays the bad guy. There is no real bad guy in this film, but he plays the bad guy of the film, and he is the best part of the film by far. And by the end of it, I was just disappointed. As a big Harry Potter fan and a big lover of films like this and what they were trying to do with this, I was extremely disappointed. In fact, it kind of put me down for the rest of the day. Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them gets 2.5 stars out of 5. And if you enjoyed that review, please stick right here on My Week in Media reviews for Arrival, Nocturnal Animals, and American Pastoral. Thank you so much to everyone that supported me recently. I really, really do appreciate it. If you have also seen this film, message me, talk to me on Twitter @DoorSpare, or on Facebook if you have me on Facebook, or just comment down below if you've seen this and what you thought of it, because I'm really intrigued to see what other people think of it, because I was really, really disappointed. And if you did enjoy this, give it a like, give it a subscribe, and make sure you're sticking right here on My Week in Media for all the latest new reviews.